All right, we live.
Yes, Shrewd News and Reviews. Rob the Water God,
Back
Ja
again.
Israel, back again. And we're going to be keeping up with the Joneses this evening.
Yeah, man.
We got to update people on the Jerry Jones racist photo scandal, as well as Alex Jones interviewing Kanye West and him going on a anti-Semitic tirade once again.
Oh wow.
It seems like every time we turn around, we're just updating people on Kanye, Kyrie, Hebrew Israelites, the Jewish people, and racism. Like that is like really what is just controlling
The media,
the
right? That's
media right
good.
now.
It's,
That's
it's
what we're all just
it's good
take.
you point that out.
Yeah, so we'll start with I want to start with Jerry Jones. Now, we know that the photo came out, right? And there's been people kind of, I guess, shooting Jerry Jones bail. He was spotted in a racist photo and everything like that. Would you say Stephen A. Smith was trying to shoot the man bail?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely kind of being
He was
apologetic for Jerry Jones, real forgiving. I'll say that. Very
he
forgiving
was
of Jerry Jones.
he was too passionate about it for some reason. It didn't. It was weird.
I'm just gonna keep the same energy that I have for Kyrie. I
Yeah.
don't feel like he unequivocally denounced. Well, hold on. Let's take a more critical look at what Jerry Jones actually said when he was, pressed about it. Being caught in this racist photo. I want to go back to that because I think that's important for context. You
For
with
what
me? Am I
Jerry
straight?
Jones said, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me go ahead and share my tab. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Uh, so curious kid. I didn't know at the time the
Said
monumental.
he didn't know.
He was just a curious kid.
Yeah.
He didn't know what was going on.
Curiously
He
ready to
yeah, he didn't know it was
smash.
monumental. He's like, look, I thought we were just I thought we were just bullying a couple niggers. I didn't know that it was gonna be a monumental moment. You know, that's how I
Right.
feel.
Event really that was going on, and I'm sure glad that we're a long way from that. I am, and we just that would remind me just continue to do everything we can
I can't
to
hear that good. Can you turn it up? Yeah.
understand.
Let's play it back because I don't think you got the volume up.
Man, I got the volume up on the max. Ooh.
Okay, let's try it again.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, it's just the interview quality.
Well, of course, and it's a big
Oh, hold on. Did I lose you?
see.
Oh, here we go.
Reminded about the Salvation Army, and I will say this: that probably will be the
We don't
second
hear.
audience to the Super Bowl over the next 12 months. So it's a big audience out there
No, you need to get it up out of this one.
Um,
Oh, this quality ain't good.
Yeah, we don't really. I think it's that video you got. He
Okay.
only got 90 subscribers.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I don't want to say that could be the issue, but
I mean, he doing a little bit better than us on this channel. We got we gotta at least come see that man before we address his photo. He the only one with. See, look, when Kyrie was going through his stuff, I could find his press conference videos real quick. Now I'm looking for the shorts.
right there you go.
Where
Oh, nah,
see, I'm looking for the video where he's
there you go.
reacting to the backlash. No, this Forgotten King.
No,
What's
right
shouting him
there.
out? What?
addresses controversial photo.
All right. I don't know. The thumbnail look a little questionable, but
A few days ago, a photo
That
went
ain't-
viral of a
that's like somebody else's breakdown. Let's see.
was addressing the participating.
See?
14, 65 years.
See?
Well, bigotry and prejudice is alive and well. We get all of
We
that.
hearing they breakdown. See, the one with the low volume was the only one really out there. Is that a coincidence? That's a little conspiracy
I mean-
theory, isn't it?
We heard what he said. You know, he definitely was.
Yeah, let's just speak on it.
You know, he said that was a long time ago.
How you feel about that excuse?
I think I need to hear that you stand against racism. You stand against, you know, blacks that was
There we
being
go.
oppressed to get their, you know, get justice.
I want to hear him unequivocally say that he stands against racism in all its form, and he stands with the black community. Something like that. Something real strong and definitive. He said, I'm glad we're a long ways from that. What you trying to say? We ain't got a long way to go? I'm just trying to be critical on him the way we was critical on Kyrie, or at least I was.
Yeah.
You know, and for that reason, just like I think Kyrie got some pretty wild views about the Jews, I'm still feeling like Jerry Jones probably got some racism in his heart still. You know, I'm not super convinced that this is just from a long time ago. This is in his formative years. This is probably what shaped his worldview as a person, you know. Maybe you ain't on it the same way you was on it back then, but I mean,
But
all
let's-
the times you could have spoke out about stuff, you know, up until this point, you would have been more conscious about it. You know, I don't remember him having the best position when it came to the kneeling. There's another video on there. I ain't really get to watch it, but there's a video where he said they say he was drinking and he was on tape making a comment about somebody being with a black woman or something, you know, just little stuff like that where I'm just not super convinced that you're not still that dude that we see in the picture.
Yeah.
You got something to say about that?
Yeah, I think that I don't know how Stephen A. I'm going to share this, man, since we talk about the Jerry Jones and I'm going to share what Stephen A. had to say on his take.
Oh, his defense of Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off, but not for reasons that people would think. I'm very, very fond of Jerry Jones. And I'm not
Wasn't
hiding
expecting that,
from
nigga.
anybody. Is his record perfect? No.
You're right.
This is
But I'm
record.
pissed off because he doesn't deserve what just happened.
Okay.
He doesn't deserve it.
Okay.
One report, our report said he was 14 years old.
I already know where you're going.
Another report said he was 15 years old. At minimum, that's 65 years ago. You're going to bring up a picture of Jerry Jones standing at this protest, no question.
What was happening,
Not something that anybody as a black person should be appreciative about.
We had
We had
six students at that particular North Little Rock High School that was trying to desegregate the school.
No one should be okay with it,
Nobody should be okay with that.
regardless of
We
race.
No, hold on. Now let me take that back. Now listen to what Stephen A. said. Let's take
Come
it
here.
back to what he just said. He said no black person.
North Little Rock High School that was trying to desegregate the school.
No one should be okay with it,
Nobody should be okay with that.
regardless of
We
race.
understand that. We get all of that. We also
Does he really
understand what
get
we
that?
as black people and as black folks, black men have to deal with. And by the way, to some degree, we still deal with a lot of things, and we all know it. Racism is alive and well. Bigotry and prejudice is alive and well. We get all of that. What I'm saying is, here's the part that bothers me. You want to get on Jerry Jones and his track record, fine. In 2003 or so, you know what? You should have hired. Dennis Green shouldn't have got an interview on the phone. It should have been an in-person interview. You should have followed the letter of the rule of the law as it pertains to the Rooney Rule. He wanted Bill Parcells, university recognized one of the greatest football coaches we've ever seen. It was clear he wanted Bill Parcells. Nobody else was going to have a chance of getting that job. That's what he wants to do. You want to malign him for that? Fine. You want to point out that he's one of 7 black NFL owners that's never hired an African American as a head coach? Fine, do all of that. Attack him for that. Go ahead, no problem.
You lining him up a little bit.
Of African Americans employed by him. I see black players
who
rave about this man and what he's done for them on a personal level. So you want to go by his hiring record when it comes to head coaches? No problem. Can't go to executive route because we know.
I think that's the most. It's like in our situation, it's the most disrespectful way to not call somebody a racist because they hire black people. It's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
Put that in the same stance.
That's like saying, "Oh, I'm not racist. I have a friend that's black."
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, that's kind of irrelevant. Like, just because he's putting black people in opportunities that play football, what does that really mean? Does that mean that he's a good guy? Does that mean that he's not?
It's like I hire him, so you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I'm looking
I can't
out.
be too racist. You know?
Yeah. I don't want my daughter dating one, but I will hire him.
So everything I feel what Stephen A said, I feel like Stephen A lost a lot. He took almost a biggest L as Jerry Jones almost.
Honestly.
And I'm saying because this is why.
All right, here we go.
I just don't feel like he should have took that take. I think he sat there and said what he said about Kyrie. So there's no way, right? You should be pissed at. So you telling me you pissed at the NBA for getting mad at what Kyrie Irving tweeted? Just because he tweeted it? Are you pissed off at that? Are you pissed off that they're looking at that? Do you get what I'm saying?
He spoke out against Kyrie. He didn't agree with what he did. And what Stephen A was saying was he thought that the 6-item checklist was going too far. And okay, you know what I'm saying? Like I think he's kind of like playing both sides, of the argument, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people gonna pick what they want from. I'm having fun with it a little bit. When I really listen to him, I think he's kind of making sense. He made some good points. I mean, it was a long time ago. There's better things that we could talk about that would make him seem like maybe he's not, the most open-minded type of guy than the old photo, but it definitely does give context. I think that it's relevant, and I don't think that people are wrong to make the connections that they're making,
Right.
Yeah, with the photo, like.
Yeah, but you said something where you said he make some points. I feel like he did make some points, but the points are irrelevant because of, I feel like, justice. I feel like you can't really be taking this point of like saying what nobody is and what there aren't.
Yeah.
Justice haven't been served. So it's not
for
even
real.
Nobody's even been charged for what we saying has been done to us, but you saying, no, man, he worked, man, he hires a lot of blacks, and then you're gonna bring in points to where he's not racism or where this shit.
Yeah, and it's bigger than you. I remember Yvette Carnell was making a good point like that where she spoke on Stephen A. She was saying that he not qualified. I don't want to misrepresent what she said, but the point that I got was what I got from what she said is he not qualified to forgive all of that racism for all of us. It affected more people than him. It's bigger than you. You can't say that. You know
have
what I'm
no
saying?
right.
You don't have
right
no
to
right
even-
to be shooting them bail like that. And he was really on the wrong side of. He was really on the wrong side of a really important
And I'm not
issue.
saying he's a bad. I'm not saying he with it. I'm saying he should have to. You need to make sure he says that he's not a part of that, and he denounce it before you go to taking up for somebody. You can't take up for nobody that don't denounce it. That's like us saying Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic, but he didn't say he wasn't anti-Semitic. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. That's a good point. And I'm gonna say this. Who's gonna have a 6-item checklist for Jerry Jones? Right? He didn't say the right thing in the interview. Is he gonna have to go through some sensitivity training? Is he gonna have to give a donation to, you feel me, some organization? Now, I'll tell you, Stephen A. Smith said that he had an interview with the ADL leader, and it wasn't them that came up with that 6-item checklist. A lot of us assume that the ADL is the people that got him suspended. The ADL is the people that made him make a donation to get back and under this. That's not what happened.
Who was it?
It had to be the NBA. Somebody at the NBA. So what I'm trying to say is, if Jerry Jones is just an owner, he ain't the NFL. Why aren't the people, the higher ups of the NFL? But I think like they're all like in a group together. But
of course.
But yeah, I think it's
allies.
Like the NFL is like a group of owners that own the NFL.
That's
right?
the NFL, the group of
okay.
owners.
Look, so there's not enough conscious NFL owners to step up and be like, man, we don't feel like you did enough, Jerry. You know what I'm saying? We don't feel like you, because they probably on the same type of timing is the point I'm trying to make. You feel me? I was happy that somebody reacted in that way. It wasn't, you know, what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to make it seem like it was some kind of secret society, like pulling the strings. No, I think that there was enough good people at the NBA that there was like, you know what? We don't stand for this, and we don't want to even make it look like we with this. Something got to happen. Maybe they did too much, but they still felt like something like it got to happen. I don't think nothing's going to happen with Jerry Jones. Who's going to be the person that got the 6-item checklist to make him get back on point?
But this goes to what we was talking about earlier, the media. See, when you control what the media asks questions, see, just like then they asked him some questions.
Yeah.
So these questions are even questionable from the people who are asking the questions, because it could be a backhand. So they're going to ask certain questions that's going to, you know, I don't think it's going to be on the black side. The questions that they'll ask, like, hey man, can you denounce racism? I mean, we've seen when this photo, there are a lot of black. We're not.
Also, you don't think that there was enough journalists there to ask the hard-hitting questions? Maybe he's screening his question
exactly
in a way that Kyrie is not able to. Is that what you're
exactly saying? Not even Jerry. I'm not even saying Jerry. I'm saying the whole media coverage on when they talk to these players, or when they, you know, when they ask the questions, they're asking the questions that they feel deemed that's probably of their bosses and their you know, higher ups. So I mean, that's just how it seems to me.
Okay, that's what I've seen you. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, that could be that's plausible. That's plausible. I think there's some good journalists out there though, but I don't know. Jerry Jones, he might have been able to. It didn't seem like Kyrie was able to just get the, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have any evidence of that, but that is a good thing that you brought up. You know, maybe they're not. I think that they asked him about the photo though. That was good enough to me. I don't think.
Yeah, they asked him about the photo, but like,
no, that wasn't good enough to me. Actually,
it's something right.
I wish we could have seen the whole interview. I really wanted to get into it. I encourage people to find that on their own. We having some hard time finding it, which right now, which is crazy. But I don't think
Jason Williams said a good clip, man. I don't know if he's in here, but he said what he wanted to hear from him. And I thought that was real good. I don't think this clip got it, but he was saying what he need. Did you see that?
I ain't see that, but I got one ready to go with LeBron, just to give some context. You feel me? So LeBron had something to say about the Jerry Jones thing, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into that. He made he connected the dots between Jerry Jones and Kyrie. Here we go. Yeah.
Why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on,
I want to get his intro because it was really nice.
I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. And that Jerry Jones photo is one of those moments that our people, Black people, have been through in America. And I feel like as a Black man, as a Black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, when we do something wrong or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid, every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the whole Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes, I get it. But it seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on. And I was just kind of disappointed that I haven't received that question from you guys. Appreciate it.
Now,
I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question.
Now, how you feel about that, Bob?
LeBron isn't the political guy, right? A lot of people know that, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't smart enough to understand that certain people have to speak up and they ride waves. I think that was genuine from LeBron, but we also got to know that a lot of people step up in certain situations when, you know, it's a good time to take a great shot. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on that. Let me see. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what you're saying is part of LeBron might actually feel this way genuinely, but this was more of virtue signaling. He wanted to be on the right side of a quote unquote Black issue after he just got some backlash over kind of pushing back on what Kyrie did. Is that what you saying?
Yeah.
I got a similar feeling about this as well. I like LeBron now. I'm not a LeBron hater, you feel me? And I like when LeBron talk on politics, actually. You know what I'm saying? I don't always agree with everything he say, but I like that he speaks on stuff more so than say Jordan did.
Yeah.
You know, I like to see people like him at least making an effort, and I think for the most part he's all right. But that aside, I really like I think it was a good move, you know, when it comes to the virtue signaling thing. I think it's going to go over well. You know, I've already seen some of my friends kind of retweet, like not retweeting it, but like sharing it or whatever. But I'm going to say this. It is kind of like two different sports. I'm not saying that basketball guys don't talk about the NFL sometimes, but I don't think nobody was asking like I don't think nobody asked Brady about the Kyrie shit. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like, wow, it's kind of like that's in your wheelhouse. So yeah, we gonna ask you. You a basketball player, you know what I'm saying? And that this, that, and the other. I don't think it's necessary for them to necessarily ask LeBron about the Jerry Jones thing. I don't think that's like really the same thing. Yeah, it don't really fit to me, but I think it was a good opportunity that he took. Another thing, the problem with what I think he did there is the people who thought that the Hebrew, the Negroes, documentary was a good thing or whatever. What those people hear is Kyrie was right all along. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think. That's what I think. What they're gonna get from this. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyrie didn't do nothing wrong. Not saying that LeBron is saying that, but that's what they're gonna take from this. Like this is a win for Kyrie,
Right.
in a sense. You know what I'm saying? That LeBron was saying this. What? Anything else you have to add about what he said?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I pretty much said everything. I mean, how I felt about it, but yeah, I think that it was a good score for LeBron. LeBron
Good
made a
score,
great play.
LeBron.
He made
He made a great play. We'll say that. That's a
Right.
good choice of words, Bob. I like I like that. You know what I'm saying?
So, what do you think about this Kanye?
Alex
How
Jones and
long that
Kanye
stay up?
interview.
I did put up a video of that.
Yeah. I
How
mean,
long
it's
it
a
gonna
hot
stay up?
thing right now, and he's banned from YouTube. So putting a little clip of that video on
It's like dangerous.
is definitely major because you can't find too much Alex Jones on YouTube.
Wow.
Now I do have, just to kind of frame what went on this interview. I watched a couple hours of the interview and I did take some notes, but I just kind of want to frame what went on during this Alex Jones and Ye interview because it was pandemonium. I'm gonna go with the Rolling Stones article.
Pandemonium?
It was crazy. I mean,
Dang.
it made Drink Champs look like a damn TED Talk. I mean, Kanye reached the all-time high level of stupid, really. I mean, that's what I'm gonna call it. I mean, I probably shouldn't describe it that way. I don't think that goes super well.
some people
But I'm
say that's racist.
Listen, man, listen. I'm just not that media trained yet. I'm just saying it sounded really dumb to me. I'm gonna be real with you, but I think they're gonna frame it better. Let's go to the Rolling Stone article. It says Kanye to Alex Jones. I like Hitler. The rapper and virulent anti-Semite sat down with Sandy Hook conspiracy theorist alongside white nationalist Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes. This article by Nikki McCann Ramirez and Ryan Bort. Y'all go read it in its entirety, but I'll read a little bit here. Kanye West praised Adolf Hitler and Nazis, denied the Holocaust, and attacked Jewish people at length during a disturbing Thursday afternoon interview with conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler, Ye said. Also, Hitler was born Christian. We have a little clip here
of it. And now people are like, wait a second, the so-called crime doesn't deserve the punishment. What did I thought?
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love us, and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good. And I'm done with
I don't think that's true, but let's go ahead.
that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. How about that one? Ari Emanuel, how you like that one? Hey, Ron, you going to do anything to fix Chicago?
Wow. He's really going 10 toes down with the Hitler support.
This is where when I hear people that always want to say, oh, but this makes a point though. Oh, yeah. But it's a point. This is why when people talk like that, it's like, okay, you can make points, bro. Like things can make points, but it still may not make you, it don't fit the conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you can make
it nobody wants to hear your point if it's going to involve all of that hate. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of sours people to the rest of the stuff that you're saying.
yeah. And I think too, like we have been conditioned to be like feeling like in your head, because when I think about Rush, like that from the Holocaust, I think about like those are bad people, like whatever, like those are just bad people, and that's how we think from the get go. But we can understand from what they did, this is why we feel like they bad people. But he just brings points on bad issues, and a lot of people do that. They'll try to find a point in something that's bad, and then they can fight with it. Just
yeah, he goes on. We got another clip.
They love Hitler. They gave him an award. I'm just saying, I don't like Nazis, and I don't like what some of the mafias are doing either.
I like Hitler.
Alex Jones was actually trying to push back on that. When you're in the room with Alex Jones and he seems like the more sensible person, you're in big trouble. And he kept on trying to give Kanye bail, like, you're not really saying that you like Hitler or anything like that. And Kanye kept pushing back and saying, like, yeah. Here's another quote from Kanye. We got to stop dissing Nazis all the time, Ye said after the show returned from break. Throughout the show, Ye blamed several subjects mentioned in the broadcast, including suppression of free speech on Zionists. At one point, he said that it's Satan that gets inside of the Zionists and makes them do evil things.
how you feel about that?
I think it sounds really bad. I'm gonna stop.
Do you feel like it's a mafia? But see, because a lot of people ain't addressing.
I don't agree with nothing that
about.
he's saying about that. I don't see the world in that way. I think he's a bigot. I think he's ignorant, and the things he say are blatantly anti-Semitic. So, I'm not gonna be one of those people trying to weave through it and be like, "Oh, he's making a point." He actually, during the interview, he praised Jon Stewart for his take on the issue, and it was just crazy. I don't agree. If that was a question, do I agree with that? Is there some kind of Jewish mafia? No, I'm not with that. I mean, if there is, then there is a Jewish mafia, but I don't agree with that worldview that Jewish people are like, yeah, Jewish people conspired to control the world and they're pulling all the strings of the media. All of that foolishness he be talking about, I don't agree with none of that.
No, but Kanye said specifically he's about the bad practices. Do you feel like there's some bad practices that's being done in that, around what they do have? Like hearing him, do you feel like, he's saying 75 million was frozen out of his account? Do you feel like this is justifiable from what he's just saying?
I don't know if $75 million was even frozen in his account.
Let's say it was. Okay, well, let's just say if it was, do you feel like
I don't think he's
that would be justifiable?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what it's being frozen for. They're also saying that Kanye owes a lot of money in taxes, over 50 million. I don't know if it was the IRS. He doesn't prove to be he doesn't seem to me to be a credible person, so I can't just assume that that's
Right.
even a real thing that happened. So no, I don't think that I don't know what business practices you're talking about. I think that there are bad business practices in the world, but I don't categorize, like, I don't say like a race of people practice bad business practices. I think that's something that's just done across the board.
Right.
He had time to diss Governor DeSantis during that interview as well.
Yeah. He feels like Governor DeSantis is a plant for the elite. So, I guess a lot of people feel like that. So
that was weird. So I don't know. DeSantis's numbers is pretty good right now. So if I guess if Kanye wanted to run for president, seriously, it seems like, that's what he wants to do. I guess it is a smart move to kind of just go at DeSantis, just like Trump kind of knows that that's his real competition. So also
Yeah.
it seemed that Kanye was visibly upset about President Benjamin Netanyahu, or is he a prime minister? He was talking about Trump meeting with Ye was a mistake.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ye seemed visibly upset about that. He even had like a little net that he kept pulling out, and he was using it as a puppet and like doing Benjamin Netanyahu's voice. Did you catch that part of
Yeah,
the
I
interview?
caught that.
What did you think about that? That was bizarre to me.
I think it's different. So
Yeah.
anything, you know, I think it's weird. It makes, you know, it's not the norm. You know what I mean? So
It's not the norm.
Kanye's definitely bringing a different, you know, a more. I think when people say, "Oh, he crazy weird," I think he plays into that, and he does things that plays into that narrative. So
Yeah.
people can say that, and then it could be like, you know,
Yeah, maybe we can sympathize with him because this ain't really Ye saying these things. This is, you know, we're seeing somebody experiencing a medical event. He's sick. He needs
I
help.
don't think he crazy. I think it's like
He play crazy.
How like Charleston White say, like, yo, this is my what he
Character.
say? This is my character.
Yeah.
Ye is his character. You feel me?
Yeah. I think that there's some truth to that. Also, fueling his anti-Semitism, he divulged that Josh Kushner owns 10% compared to the 5% of Skims that Kanye owns. I don't know if he brought that up before, but I thought that was a little bit petty, you know, and it just kind of speaks to where, like, how emotional he is, you know. I think, you know, anybody that does anything wrong to him, he gonna be trying to like see if they Jewish. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's just his worldview. Like, he always brings the Jewish thing up every time he talks about somebody that he feels like wronged him. And
so how you feel about Nick Fuentes?
Man, Nick Fuentes, man, he's a 24-year-old kid that says crazy, wild things, man. I don't think he's a good look to be with if you're trying to win some
on the
president.
show. Did you peep out anything he said on the Alex Jones show? You took any notes on that? One that I got was when they was talking about the Hebrews, that blacks are the real Jews, that it's factual.
Actually,
both of them.
Okay, what do you say about that? Because I can tell you the most standout thing that I think Nick Fuentes said, but go ahead. Tell me about what this was. I don't know if I
They was just saying that it was factual, that you know, this is stuff that happened. They brought up the Ethiopian leader, Haile Selassie.
I think that was actually Alex Jones that brought up Haile Selassie.
Yeah, he brought up, but
that's not really based in there's a lot of omission there. He oversimplified that whole thing too much. He simplified that part of history to a very unhealthy degree. I'll say that. And I wouldn't hold too much weight into that, you know. But Haile Selassie is at the heart of a lot of conspiracy theories as well. So I think that like kind of plays to his base. Remember, Alex Jones is the same guy that said that Sandy Hook was a hoax. He's paying $1 billion for that. So we know he's gonna say some crazy things. Did you have anything else to say about that? Because I want to bring up what I thought was probably the craziest thing I heard Nick Fuentes say.
No, go ahead.
Well, one of the crazy. I don't want to say the crazy because he basically was co-signing all the anti-Semitic shit that Ye was saying, and you know the Hitler stuff. But he said that Israel killed JFK. Have you ever heard that before?
Okay.
Israel assassinated JFK.
I never, but listen, bro. I'm
pretty sure that's a conspiracy theory. I'm gonna go ahead
and
say that
there's no conspiracy theory, but I mean,
that's not true.
how could we? You get what I'm saying? We don't know who
I
killed
think
him.
we can
Nobody
say that
knows.
we don't. We say we don't know, but what we can't do is assert things without evidence. And I
Right.
don't know of any evidence that exists that Israel was behind the assassination of JFK Jr. or JFK. So I just don't know.
Right. Yeah. But
I don't-
we don't know who it is. So it's anytime you have an assumption, or if somebody has an assumption when it's like clueless, we don't know who it is. We don't know who it is. It's always going to be an upper power thing that someone's going to point to. It's just going to be easier because me and you and anybody around the neighborhood, we know if somebody did something, we know who it is. But anytime,
Well, yeah, it's gonna stuff like that is gonna spawn conspiracy theories.
Of
We know
course.
that there's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding JFK. I think they're playing to the conspiracy community, so it makes sense that they brought that up. That's kind of like part of the whole outfit. What do you think about the fact that Kanye West wore a mask during the entire interview? Alex Jones seemed kind of pissed off about that because it's not like as good of a look for him, I guess.
let me tell you why I feel like what he's doing is he may not be doing it for the reason that I'm saying, but I'm gonna say why I feel like it's great marketing to do that, right? Why I feel like that, okay? If he covers his face and you don't really know who that is up under there, you can always get the audio. So he don't have to necessarily be there. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have to have him there. He don't have to be everywhere. He can be at a concert and he just the audio guy, but it's somebody there. With
Are you saying that Kanye's going to just start sending doubles out there at some point? Like he's just kind of conditioning people?
Why else would you be covering where we don't know who you are? I mean, me personally, I feel like
I don't think anybody could do that good of an impression of Kanye West.
But I think with technology, with him being able to speak, maybe he can speak and not have to be there. Maybe he's trying to automate his whole, But that's just my crazy thinking. What you thinking of that?
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm just hearing you out.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: one of the craziest one-liners Kanye had during that Alex Jones thing, he say, "I love Jewish people, but I love Nazis."
And people don't understand where Kanye trying to go with this. He basically trying to have this love, peace for everybody type of analogy. And it's like, yeah, like, okay. Do you get what I'm saying? He's having this whole love thing. And
we can't. We as a society, we're just not on that right now. It's like we come, morality is based on what humans think, man. It's a consensus of what we all think, man, with our moral systems.
Right.
We're in a time where you can't be talking positively about Hitler, bro. You just can't do it, dog, without sounding crazy. Once you start doing that, they're gonna get you out of there. They're gonna put you in the anti-Semitic box. And
exactly, but think about it. In history, we always talk like there's certain people. Like when you think of what's the European guy who slaughtered a lot of people, and we always hear his name, the Empire Tribe. What was his name? Dave? What was it? Dave? Was it David? Whatever. But it's these big names that we hear about that they done a lot of bad things. Even here on the soil of Christopher Columbus, and these guys that and they're taking them out, do so, but we don't really be knowing what people. Hitler is somebody that, from what we know of and what we seen, you shouldn't be celebrating.
I'll agree with that part 100%. Like you don't really need to be bigging him up. Like it's not a good move. At one point, Ye started reading from the book of Genesis. Alex Jones tried to press him about like how he's running for president. He should have like some kind of platform like on like how are you going to fix so he should have some kind of platform on like how he's going to fix the problems of the world. And he was basically saying like, yeah, the Bible is how we fix it. And then he just starts reading from Genesis. He's advocating for a theocracy. And honestly, I feel like theocratic nations are like some of the most unhappy places on earth.
Oh, you mean where religion rules?
Yeah, I think
Think
when
about
you
it
get
like this,
into
though, Cal.
okay, yeah,
I get where you coming from, but I get where it gets too far to where we got we don't want to turn America into a Las Vegas, a sin place where it's like, yeah, it's freedom of speech, everything, there's no guidelines. Like I just seen the other day or the other week where a man got arrested for molesting animals like horses, having sex with horses and stuff like that. It was weird. So what I'm saying is we have to have some type of moral guidelines and where some kind of stance. Because if you don't and you're like, okay, we don't want religion in it, we don't want culture in it, we need some kind of balance. You get what I mean? And
so you think religion is the only place to get morality?
no, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we just need some type of morality.
Okay, I'm fine with us having morality. We don't need a theocracy.
I'm not saying it has to be into religion, but from me living in this environment, I see that some religions have good habits and good morals that could work with different beliefs. Whatever you believe in, and I feel like we can.
I think that's good for you as an individual. If you want to live your life by certain a religion, I think that's what's great about America. You have the freedom to do what you want to do.
I'm saying the morals, the principles.
Listen, you just said that we need morals, and then you tried to liken it to religion. You say you don't want places to be like Las Vegas. So when we're sinning, so you're comparing.
I ain't saying like sinning. I'm saying to where it's like it gets out of hand to where anything goes. I'm not saying that I don't want to have it like Las Vegas. I'm saying that.
Listen, man, Kanye said that he wants to save the America with the Bible. Is you saying that or not?
No.
Okay, because nobody's against morals. That's not even right. There's nobody's arguing that we don't need morals. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Why are you even bringing that up? That's what I'm trying to say. It was Alex Jones that brings up Haile Selassie. I wrote a note about that.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes says that Jews hate Jesus.
Yeah, that's big. I never heard that before.
You never heard that before?
I heard that in the Jewish religion, they saying that a certain group of people can have a curse on them. I heard that and was like, damn, they believe that? Like,
well, there's, people interpret sacred texts in many different ways. So we don't want to confuse the Jewish people as being a monolith. There's Jewish people that interpret the word in different ways. I'm sure that there are there's a non-zero portion of Jews that believe that, and there's probably a way bigger portion of Jews who don't believe that at all. So Nick ain't the guy to go to, in my opinion, when it comes to just thoughts on what Jewish people think. I think he's completely biased and bigoted with his worldview. And he's a 24-year-old kid. I mean, I don't want to be ageist, but I don't think he know enough about the world really to be speaking on shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you was going to ask?
What do you think about the lady? What was her name? Who said she was Jewish?
Laura Loomer.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about her, to be honest, but I know that she's a conservative and a nationalist. She's a congressperson in Florida, so she ran to be a congressperson in Florida, so we should actually learn a little bit more about her. But she's what you call a free speech absolutist. Like, she just wants to protect free speech in all its forms. So I guess that means that she would want to fight for people saying fire in a crowded movie theater when there ain't no fire there. She would want to fight for your right to be able to do that, since she's an absolutist. Her own word. What do you think about her?
I think that she said she claims she's being canceled by the community.
Which community is she being canceled?
She was talking about the Jewish community, even though she is, she's from the Jewish community.
They can't cancel her if they're Jewish, right? Isn't that what Kyrie said? Like he can't be anti-Semitic if he's a true Jew. So if they Jews and she's the same type of Jew, they can't be anti-Semitic if they cancel her, right? I'm just using Kyrie's, weird logic. Isn't that fair to say? If we're using Kyrie logic,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know what to think about that. I mean, I don't think she's being canceled. I think she's somebody that says off the wall things, and there's probably more people who feel like what she's saying is off the wall, and they got her out of here. Advertisers are not going to want to stand too close to you when you talk like that. People ain't going to want to give you a platform. So this whole canceling thing, I mean, I don't know, man. They use that as a blanket term, like to cover a lot of things, but I don't think that's I don't know. It depends on what you describe canceling as. I don't know if she got canceled. I'm not super convinced of that. What you think?
I mean, I could just go off of what she said. I ain't do no research on her, but if her story is true, what she's saying, and for her to be sitting next to Alex Jones and them, I kind of believe she's in some kind of hot water with with somebody,
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I think all of those people are like, you could say there's some kind of cancel. I think that these are people that deal in misinformation, conspiracy theories, and racism.
Do you think they're
and stuff
all
like
Republicans?
They definitely appear to all be on the right wing. I'll tell you that, because Alex Jones is a longtime supporter of Trump, and he had great words to say about DeSantis. Alex Jones loved Kanye. Kanye supports Alex Jones, and Nick Fuentes is a white nationalist. So yeah, I mean, it seems like
all of the views add up.
There are very reasonable Republicans out there who have like reasonable reasons for why they might be supporting a Republican Party, or maybe they're more close to being like center right or something like that. All Republicans are not like these people, but these people represent a certain fringe part of the right wing, the alt-right, as it might be described as. I'd say that's just my humble little, opinion in the situation.
I had a stat I wanted you to
where the stat coming from?
Wow, yeah, they removed my video.
Yeah, they got you out of there. Oh,
yeah, removed that. What I was gonna ask you, I was gonna say, do you believe in this stat? They said that 73% of the Jewish community vote Democrat. What do you think? I mean, vote Democrat. That's
what was the percentage?
Fuentes said that 73.
If it's coming from Nick Fuentes, I'm highly questionable of that. I don't think 80% of any group of people votes a certain way, to be honest with you. So it don't really pass my smell test. And if it's coming from Nick Fuentes, every time I'm getting the information, one of the first things I'm going to do is consider the source. That really helps with getting good information, and he's not a credible source to me.
Right.
So especially if he's talking about Jewish people.
So you think it's more even? You think you think that there's some Jewish people that vote on the Republican side?
I've seen credible data that says that they vote more to the left, but I don't know if it's 80%. I don't know. He might have trumped that up a little bit. No pun intended. I mean, they also said that the term racism was created by communist Russians. That's what Alex Jones said. Alex Jones says a lot of crazy stuff. He says something about water turning frogs gay. This is a guy who says that 5G is affecting the vaccinated, and causing health problems with them. He says a lot of stuff that is just not based in reality. So, yeah. Kanye found time to send a few shots at Meek Mill and Diddy as well. He said that they ain't tough, and nobody's tougher than God,
Well, I got something that I wanted to bring up.
What's that?
You did mention about the Republican that all of these guys were Republicans. Well, You feel
right
like
wing, I say. We have
right
fringe, the fringe sect of the Republican Party. Yeah, that's fair. I describe
Yeah,
it that way. Yeah.
And
But
it was an article that came out. I'm gonna share it on my screen here. About it shares. Can you see it?
I could see enough of it. Yeah.
All right. So Sam Bankman, he did an interview, and I got. I think I want to leave the link to this, but he said in this interview that he donated dark money. I'm gonna get to that part to the Republican Party. He said that, to the Republican Party. So he did do, like, he said he donated the same amount that he did to the Democratic Party, but he did it in dark money to the Republican Party that he donated to the Democratic Party. But he did it in dark money, so you can't trace it. You can't put that on file. Are you buying that?
I don't know. I've never seen that article before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sounds interesting. It should probably be investigated. I don't want to get too far off track from the interview, though. I don't think Sam Bankman-Fried has much to do with the Alex Jones interview, though. I see how you speaking to the Republican thing, but
Right. It was just, that we did the 73%. That was just a good question that let me share off my screen. But
yeah, I don't have that much of an opinion about that. I didn't read that article. I don't know. Dark money is a problem in politics, though. Like
exactly. The fact, my point is bringing you the fact that he can say he sent dark money to anybody and don't have to have no trace is a real big problem. Like, we know he did he's saying, okay, I'm on file sending, 39 million to the Democrats, but the Republican side is kind of, I sent the same amount, but it was through dark money. So it's like it's like an issue. I feel like that's a big problem if you got access to do something like that.
Interesting. Kanye also said that porn and stripping is the same as pedophilia. How you feel about that?
I love to go to my strip clubs every here and there,
I don't think that's on the same level at all. You know what I'm saying? But that's weird that he thinks that as a guy who admits to like having like a porn addiction at one point. So for him to say that it's like all in the same. That's why, man.
Listen, you can't hit nobody's pain. So, you're basically saying that that's culturally good. Having the, strip. Having the strip clubs, and that's what you would have to say. Like, is that a good moral? Is that a good thing for young women to be doing? Do you feel like
it's not necessarily stripping is not against my morals. I don't have a problem with anybody. I don't have a problem with the way to do it. I don't have a problem with women working in the sex industry, long as they're being safe and protecting themselves. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think that
you don't have a problem with women selling their bodies for
not their own bodies. I believe in body autonomy. I believe a woman's right to choose. If she wants to sell her body, then let her do that. If she wants to sell sex, then let her do that. I don't have a problem with that. It's not against my morals.
Right, but can you see how with influence it could get out of hand? You get what I mean?
I think anything that's not done in moderation could get out of hand. So,
right.
And just, I just think that's a crazy thing to say, to put stripping and pornography on the same level as children being exploited. I think that they're not the same.
Cap, you got to think about it like this. There's strip clubs, though. I think it is in the same play because we talk about human trafficking. A lot of strip clubs are safe to where women are being pimped. There's some women that's probably being here illegally, it could have some say with human trafficking where women could be there. Did you hear about the strip club? I know I've heard cases where strip club, they were illegal women that weren't legally a resident working in there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
I think that human trafficking, if somebody's being trafficked against their will, then it's bad. But that's not really the same as saying that stripping
But
is
what
child
he's saying is
exploitation.
that's an avenue where that could be taking place. You get what I mean?
I mean, I don't think that he said that.
No.
But if it could be, that could be taking place at a tire shop too, is what I'm trying to say. So if it's going on, it should be investigated. Somebody should get in trouble. You know, slavery is not legal, but I'm not going to say that a strip club is just the same as that. It's you think that there's any strip clubs where they're just doing honest business?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm trying to say. I mean, Kanye also said during this interview that Moses of, you know, the author of Genesis, Moses saved Caesar's life in battle twice. How do you feel about that? I mean, that's the same guy who, you know what I'm saying? I think it's good to give a steel man argument, you know, kind of like try to like make the best of what he said, because we don't want to just be
right. I like to be open, man.
I get that. But this man said that Moses saved Caesar's life in battle twice. Now, I happen to know that there's no direct evidence that Moses ever existed. So him saying that, where do you think he could have got that from? You know, where is he pulling that?
Well, there are Jewish people that say they date their back to Moses. You ever heard Jewish people say that?
Of
They
course.
date their lineage back to Moses. So
they're theists. Of course,
Yeah.
they believe in Moses. They believe in the Bible. I'm just saying that there's no evidence of a lot of things in the Bible. So Moses,
but that's where sacred text can come into play. That's where it gets shaky. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's no proof of certain things because it's so far along from where we are. So, yeah, it's tough. Like, what do you believe? You know?
right. I think there's way more proof that Caesar was a real person than Moses.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think if Moses was a guy that saved his life in battle twice, then there would just be more accounts of his life to
How
prove
could
that.
they live at the same time? I didn't think that I don't know. I mean,
I don't think one of them ever lived at all. They definitely didn't live at the same time.
right. I mean, right.
But maybe where the Bible takes place, they're saying that Caesar was around because there are like some real people mentioned in the Bible. But
Right.
that doesn't mean that. That's a whole nother can.
It's a whole nother story to get into. But
he also spoke on the Balenciaga thing. He said that Balenciaga set that whole scandal up as a publicity stunt. What do you say about that?
yeah, I can see why. You
I
know,
can see why too, but I think it's for different reasons. Why
Yeah.
you can see why Balenciaga would set that up as a publicity stunt, or you can see why Kanye West would say that, or both. What are you saying?
Just looking at the impact. Like sometimes I like to sit back and when something happens, I just look at the impact, right? And it seems similar to what Gucci did with blackface. It's like this stuff comes out, it's controversial, but I'm a believer of sometimes bad news. Like what happened with Gucci back then after blackface? They still selling Gucci. It's, too many people didn't ban them.
So you're asserting that Gucci did that as a publicity stunt, and now
I'm not saying that they did it as a publicity stunt, but I just feel like
it helped them.
It didn't go nowhere. You get what I'm saying? It's like what I don't see,
Just because they ain't go nowhere don't mean
that
it
don't
helped
mean
them,
it helped
though.
them. Right. Well, I'm a believer that, sometimes with this social media, negative news can kind of just get you more sales just because it's just making someone say Balenciaga. So, okay, they may not
I
even.
don't feel like that at all. I don't feel like I think
Okay.
that whole Balenciaga story is fake news. I think that it's just being blown out of proportion by the conspiracy community. The dolls were like in punk rock uniforms, right? Punk rock attire,
Yeah.
and they're making it seem like it was a BDSM thing. And then there was another campaign that was separate from that one, right? With the kids, where it's a picture of an office setting, and there are some court documents pertaining to child porn or child exploitation. We should make a important differentiation. Child exploitation is what goes on in situations like that. Pornography is somebody getting paid to do a job, so children don't engage in that. So it's child exploitation, right? It was some kind of court documents pertaining to that, and when they're telling the story about Balenciaga, they're conflating those two ads, making it seem like they're one. And they're saying it like for sure that those little bears had on BDSM outfits. And that's not completely clear to me that happened. And there's no evidence that, to me, that why would Balenciaga be trying to send a message to people like that? Like it just doesn't pass the smell test for me. It don't seem like a real thing.
Well, I mean, I respect your take you got on it, but I disagree. I feel that the way I see, I don't know if you ever seen one of their fashion shows or how they have some people have children or have little baby dolls, and how they like the whole mantra, how they move with these babies into the whole shows, to me is a little weird. So it would make me want to know that you better stand against child anything that has to do with children, especially abduction. You got them in bondage. There's some sick people that have some kids in their fashion shows, and they're like put them in bags. It was just certain things that are weird that Balenciaga needs to come out and say, hey man, we stand against human trafficking. Right. But this is what I'm saying. You're going to have to say this if you have some of the actions that they said. You're saying is made up, but I don't feel that. I feel like they're marketing to a certain group of people, and that certain group of people, it's cutting a certain line. And this is the line that is crossed.
So let me see if I hear you correctly. You think that Balenciaga is trying to tap into the child human trafficking market?
No, I think that they're already in a market of people who are weirdos about children, have babies, and they have them in bags. And I remember I seen weirdos. They just
like
they
weirdos that like what like have underground human trafficking rings and stuff like that.
I'm gonna say that they look like they just like children. They like baby children or doll children.
And Balenciaga wants to appeal to those people. That's what you think?
I don't think that they want to appeal to them. I think that their base is probably of these type of people already. That where they already.
You sound
started.
crazy as fuck, bro. You sound.
How is that sounding crazy?
That's weird, dog. Like that's like a.
Bro, do you wear Balenciaga?
You have no.
But do you wear Balenciaga? But I'm saying,
no, I don't.
Right. So what I'm trying to say, how do you not? You don't even. That's what I'm saying. You don't.
I'm saying what you're saying does not follow any logic. Like it's just you're like.
Okay, my logic is this. This is maybe I'm gonna clear it up. It's a certain fan base that Balenciaga already had from their shows or whatever they was doing. It sounds like you done got a sponsorship from Balenciaga once or two before.
No, I'm just saying you sound crazy. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like that's the same conspiratory thinking that got you to this like position that you at right now. Now I'm getting paid by Balenciaga. Everything seems like a conspiracy where you don't understand how nothing works, man. Like I just got an opinion that you saying something that doesn't make sense, not based on you're just guessing, like just pulling stuff like, yeah, there's a whole base of people who are into pedophilia that's already into Balenciaga, and they did this to appeal to them. But
not that they appeal to them, that there's already been. That's just what their brand has been on with this set of people. I'm not saying that they're just trying to go out the way and appeal to them.
Okay. What you just said sounds crazy to me. That's all. Well, I'm gonna hear you out.
It is a crazy story. I mean, yeah, I get you. It is.
Kanye also said the only celebrity I rock with is Ray J. And then he welcomed people to come. He said, come see me. He said, I want to see my mama, which was kind of like grim to me. Like it was like a Kanye might be suicidal. When people start saying stuff like that, like I want to see my mama, I'm not scared, come see me. Like,
well,
or maybe it's an act, maybe it's part of the character, but that was a telling to me, when he said that.
Yeah, I don't see him as suicidal. I see him as like that's his way of being tough. Like,
yeah, fair. That's his ego trying to like,
yeah.
He said Dave Chappelle works for the Jews. In his world, everybody works for the Jews, though, right? But he threw a shot at Dave Chappelle. How you feel about that? I felt like Dave Chappelle kind of defended him a little bit, low key, and I
don't know how true the story was.
Yeah,
I heard the story. I don't know how true it is, but the story went where Dave Chappelle, it was something in his contract where if he made too much money, it voided it. And I think he got paid like $50 million, but he made him like $500 million. I don't know how true the story is, but that's when they said he went on his little year hiatus and he got into it with the Jews because of contract situations. I mean, does he work? I mean, I don't know his relationship with what is he going on like. So I don't think so, man, because he be saying some wild stuff to them too. He be saying some things that they look at as anti-Semitic. So
let's get out of here, man, before you get the channel pulled down, dog. You about to get us taken out of here, dog. The boy also say 21 Savage owns a bank. I got to do some research on that. I never heard that before, but he was just saying wild shit, man. That might not even be wild. Maybe 21 Savage does own a bank, but have you ever heard anything like that?
I mean, to be real with you, if just because you saying 21 Savage in the area of these right. I mean, but if you would have just told me his name and you would have just been like his name and I would have heard that, I would have been like, oh, yeah. But when you said the rapper is like,
that's why I'm like, Kanye, man, is on. He's just, that was the craziest interview, man, that he has done up to this point. That takes the cake for sure. I think we spoke enough about it, though. I think we raised some interesting points,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we'll catch him on the next one, man.
Oh wait, let's close them out with a damn quote, man. I like when we drop some quotes on the because at the end of the day, man, I'm all about empirical thinking, epistemology, skepticism. I think we got to be better thinkers out here. Kanye is like an example of what could go wrong with that. So I always try to lead the people with a little something. I'll say this, man. This is a quote from Carl Sagan. The truth may be puzzling. It may take some work to grapple with. It may be counterintuitive. It may contradict deeply held prejudices. It may not be consonant with what we desperately want to be true. But our preferences do not determine what's true. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. I like how you use Kanye as a reference. But here, there, and there. We will definitely catch y'all in the next video. Y'all know, get your water right, man. Viley.com. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Somebody wrote in